What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bubba's Ball Tire Outlet Arca Series here in the Rebel Racing League. And I'm on the Rebel Racing Network. I'm Eddie Smith, and tonight, man, we are going to burn them down at 900 horsepower. These Arca cars got a little oopsie, and now they've got way too much horsepower. And boy, it is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a glorious mess. I don't know which one it's going to be, but we're going to be here for it no matter what happens. We saw some dirt racing at Eldora just a few minutes ago, and I think we're going to see a lot of similar things. 900 normally, we have around 600 something horsepower, very manageable. Still, you have to work the throttle tonight. It's going to be a whole different animal. I've seen guys lighten the tires up down the straightaway. We're going to get wild tonight. It's going to be hard to deal with these cars, and these drivers, some of the best in the business, going to have a lot to deal with, and we could be in for a long one, so strap in as we get ready to get this thing rolling. Qualifying is just started. Want to talk a little bit about the standings right now. We've got our bootleg standings up. Daniel Pope to second, out in front. 0 wins? What? But still has a points lead. But you see the average finish there, 5th place. That's where you win championships right there. So Daniel doing a great job. Cofield with 2 wins. See Caudill Jr. with 2. Eric Tracy with 1. So winners peppered across the field. But you see top 5 looking pretty strong. That is a very, very solid top 5. So going to be a lot of fun tonight. Let's talk about the track. Richmond Raceway. Y'all all know it. Richmond, Virginia. Opened in 1946. It was called some sort of fairgrounds. I can't remember, but it was, there probably wasn't nothing but a little bit of dirt. And, they were in the middle of a war when they opened this thing. The Second World War. Breaking ground on a Richmond legendary racetrack. Of course, it's the site of the Pontiac Excitement 400 for years. And, there's no Pontiacs, but there's still a lot of excitement at this racetrack. It's a lot of fun. The next-gen era not been as fun, but here in iRacing, it is a blast. It's a tough track. It's a very fast, short track. You have to keep the speed up. You have to come off the corner just right. It opens up on the front straightaway, makes for exciting racing. You'll see a couple lines open up tonight. I think that's where the high horsepower will maybe stretch his legs a little bit. So we'll see how that all plays out. But 51,000 people here watching in this 3/4 mile racetrack. As, we got folks out there qualifying. Brandon Wallace hitting the wall. You can see it already. Guys struggling. See the front end all tore up on that thing. Dylan Bates going out on the track of that 91 machine. Let's see how he deals with it. He's going to go right out to the top, getting the most he can out of that horsepower. All that extra horses, what are you going to do with it? You're going to put it down right here. Look, you can get to almost 10,000 RPMs. He's really pushing it down into the entrance of turn 1, carrying as much speed as he can. Comes off the bottom. You see a lot of counter steer off the corner down to the bottom yet again. You want to get on the throttle as soon as you can, but with that extra horsepower, got to be careful. You see he has to working it. And that's going to put him second in the standings if we look at the qualifying right here. So you can already see, I mean, some of the best of the biz putting down some screaming lap times, but still a tough race tonight it's going to be. Let's look at the, what do we got? We got all kinds of stuff. We got the Jeff By Junior Art starting lineup. We got the Jeff By Junior Art Best Paint of the Night. We got the Dark Horse Motorsports Hard Charger Award. Of course, the Chuck Peg Leg Pole Award. No Neck Fast Repairs Hard Luck Award. Flexible Freight Solutions Post-Race Show. And, of course, your Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind, which I think they're going to get the money's worth tonight. It is, I know some guys are going to try to be careful, but when it gets time to race and you get side by side with a fella trying to get that extra little bit, man, I tell you what, it's going to be very, very difficult to not push that loud pedal just a little bit too far and find yourself looped coming off the corner. Well, hey, let's see if we can talk to some people before we grid up, get a quick feel for the race. As, you know what? I'm looking down the list, trying to find somebody we can talk to. I see some folks that ain't even racing tonight. That's sad. Find some folks we don't normally talk to, maybe get their feel for it. Well, we'll have to get somebody during the caution because I can't find anybody that I hadn't talked to in a while. So we'll pick somebody up during caution. But looks like qualifying is just about over. So let's get into the Jeff By Junior Art starting grid and give out the Chuck Peg Leg Pole Award winner. Get this off my screen. I want the grid, baby. Jim Caudill Jr. takes the Chuck Peg Leg Pole Award. Congratulations. Going to start first tonight. Dylan Bates going to start on the outside of the front row. Daniel Pope starting third. Tyler Breeding starting fourth. Seeing something funny up here at the top. Mike Cossack starting fifth. Starting sixth. Andy Kurtz. Garrett Ginder starting in seventh. Cameron Hamilton starting in eighth. Chuck Peg Leg Felt starting in ninth. Eric Tracy in 10th. Matt Telder in 11th. Daniel Cunningham in 12th. 13th is Cody Bame. 14th. Kieran Church, 15th. Michael Nash, 16th. Brandon Wallace. Steve McDonald starting in 17th. 18th, Jonathan Cofield starting 19th. Josh Oswald, 20th. Jason Lottridge, 21st. Brandon Pollock, 22nd. Travis Bieber, 23rd. Brett Bieber, 24th. Christopher Bieber, 25th. Matt Clemens, 26th. Davey Jones and Mickey Isaac from the Mid-South bringing up the rear of the field. 27. I don't know if he's gridding or not, but he's at the end of the field. That is your Jeff By Junior Art starting lineup. Woo! I'm ready to go, y'all. I don't know what y'all are feeling like. I hope y'all are feeling good, but I'm ready to see 135 laps here at Richmond International Speedway. Let's talk about the race. A NASCAR Gen 4 Cup car. That's what we're calling it. That's what it's going to be. So we're going to go ahead and get used to calling it that 800-plus horsepower as the Lord intended. And I want to see how they manage this. Not a lot of time to practice. They hadn't been working on, doing little laps here and there. But you see, 4 total sets of laps. That's ridiculous. That's just not enough tires. That ain't enough tires to make it halfway in this race. But you're going to have to be careful. You're going to have to barely push that throttle and really take care of those tires tonight. It's going to mean everything. So be looking out to see who is taking care of those tires whoever wins this race is going to have taken care of them the best, not spin them, not light them up coming off the corner, take care of those rear tires. The front tires are going to be fine. The rear is what we got to worry about. But Jim Caudill going to lead us down to the green flag. And we got 135 laps of rip-roaring horsepower, 900 horsepower action. It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait. I would imagine, go ahead and prepare. If you're watching, don't be surprised. But if we get to lap 30, I'd be surprised if we're not on our 4th or 5th caution. It's just going to be tough, man. It's just going to be a lot of guys going to step it out off the corner. I watch practice, and I'm going to be honest, even the best, the guys up front, I consider some of the best short track racers on our racing for sure. They were struggling. They were really, really having a tough time. So everybody else in the field seemed to be, unless you were running 3, 4, 5 tenths off the pace, you were definitely struggling off the corner. So just be watching out for that. Pace car getting ready to pull off, ready to get 135 laps action here under the lights here in Richmond. And Caudill in the restart zone. Green flag is out here at Richmond International Speedway. I'm going to watch the front for a little bit, but I'm expecting to see all kinds of wrecks happening pretty quickly as they come flying down into turn 1. So far, so good. Field looks good. Guys all over the track, you can see, kind of spread out, making it through. So far, so good. I hate to give them props just yet, but it looks like everybody's making it pretty clean. Caudill with a pretty solid lead there as they take off into the turn for lap number 2. So look at Dylan Bates already looking to the inside of Daniel Pope. Pope, though, with that horsepower off the high side, said no. Let's go on board with Dylan Bates and see what these guys are dealing with. Listen. You could definitely tell, even though he's got a lot, you could definitely tell that the horsepower has been increased. But you can definitely tell they're doing a great job of making sure they don't spin the tires. You can tell very deliberate throttle inputs to make sure that they don't slide them at all. Once you slide it, that's all she wrote. Let's go back here, check in on Garrett Kinder going to the inside. This is a battle for 6th place. That 13 machine looked to the inside of the 5 car, trying to make that pass. But you can see the high side off of turn 4 just really, really strong. I want to see how the tires, if we can get a tire run going. I want to see what the tire fall off does. We got about 50 to 51 laps on fuel if we need to go that far. So at least going to have 2 stops if we go green all the way. And so far, so good. 7 laps in, and guys doing a fantastic job. I've seen some guys go to the pit, so I'm not really sure what's going on with some guys, but Eric Tracy coming out of pits. I don't see any incidents for him, but he comes out of pit road, so I'm not really sure what happened to Eric, unless he had a black flag. He is currently a few laps down in 26th, and yellow flag is out. Looks like Matt Clemens has gone around in that 19 machine, so made it 8 laps before we had our first caution. And thanks to Kinder Farm and Ranch, let's go back and see what happened to Mr. Clemens. Ooh, 68 gets loose and runs into the back of the 99, and the 19 runs into the wreck, just trying to get it woed up. I believe that was a 68. Yeah, that's who it was. Go back and see what happened there. Yeah, looks like the double alt 1 of Brandon Pollock gets in pretty hot, trying to make a move on Steve McDonald and just sort of an accordion effect. Kind of involves some drivers. So first caution of the night. We got some takers on pit road. Brett Beaver, Brandon Wallace, and some others. Coming down to most likely get fuel. I doubt anybody will come down and get tires. It's way too early for that. You only have 3 sets of tires in the pits. You got 4 total. So I can't imagine anybody getting tires. That would be crazy. Yeah, it looks like everybody just fuel only. Brandon Wallace getting some damage repaired, I'm sure. Can't imagine taking tires at this point, even if you spun out. I think you got to just run what you brung at this point. Caudill, Daniel Pope, Dylan Bates got out to an early lead there before that caution. We went on board with Dylan Bates and just talking about how important it is with the tires, high horsepower. What does that mean? At a bigger track, high horsepower is going to mean a lot more. But here it just means you can't be as aggressive on the throttle. You have to be smooth. You have to be deliberate about your decisions to get on the brake, get on the gas. All those things matter. You don't want to take too much speed down in the corner with this high horsepower. You have to get on the brakes or put too much wheel into it. But when you get on the throttle, that throttle control is going to be paramount to making sure that you get around this track really fast. Be able to make speed, but also to be able to save the tire. Because as soon as you light up the rears off the corner, it's going to take you, 5 laps or so to even recover a little bit. But the damage has already been done. You're already going to be pushing the heat past the point where it can't cool back off. So it's so important to keep the rear tire temperatures in a good spot. And you saw the front 3 able to do that with very, very smooth throttle input off the corner. That's the trick here with just the horsepower. Even though I know I sound like Fox repeating myself, but just it's so important. It'll be something that we'll see happen a lot tonight, where you have that extra horsepower to get down in the corner and off, but you have to manage how you use it. You just can't go up there and just slam the throttle like this car normally does. You have to take care of it. So whoever does that the best is definitely going to win this race. Already some big movers. Michael Nash in that 27 machine has moved up 5 spots. Travis Beaver in the 114 has moved up 7. Josh Oswald right behind him in 17 has moved up a couple spots from where he started. So some guys picking them off one by one. Laps in the book. About 120 laps to go in the Arca series. I'm excited to see what they decide to do with this car going forward. I would love to see it at some bigger track just to see how you stretch these cars' legs, see how they do. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, coming to take the green flag. Caudill going to get a nice start. Everybody taking it easy, being easy on the starts now. Wonder what it's going to be like at the end of these races when the intensity picks up. You see Daniel Pope work the top side, trying to maintain that position. Going to get the run off the corner and maintain second as Dylan Bates falls back to third. As we go back through the field, Garrett Kinder, Andy Kurtz battling it out yet again for 6th place. Andy Kurtz backs off of it just a little bit. Oh, as the 13 gets loose at the end of the straightaway. As the RPMs get high enough, they start to break traction on the front of the car. Man, we got a big old battle here up at the front. On board, Michael Nash. You see the 83 of Cameron Hamilton testing that pedals. He's going to drive down to the bottom and try to cover that bottom line to keep Chuck Pegleg Phelps from getting to the inside so he can take that position. He does take it. You see Cody Boehm in the 78 Velocity Motorsports Chevrolet. Well, I don't know what that is. I think it's a Cavalier. See, he's already pushing the limits. Love to see it. Here comes Matt Taylor, Michael Nash, sort of going backwards, stuck up on the high line right now. These guys doing a great job, I'm not going to lie. It's really impressive. Practice, the way it looked, it just looked nasty. But so far, everybody's doing a good job of just trying to take care of their stuff. Oh, my goodness, Cody Bame. Really, people are pushing their luck with Chuck, man, I'm going to tell you. Sliding up in front of him, sliding down in front of him. I don't know, 75, I'm not going to take that very often. Oh, and he's going to slam into the one. Coming off the corner, Matt Taylor takes a big hit to the right side as Chuck gets a little bit loose. And they were able to keep it going. It was a pretty solid flat pancake. So nobody went into the wall. Hopefully their front end's geometry is not all jacked up. Racing going on all over the track. Got a cluster back here. Jason Lauters, Brandon Pollock, Christopher Reese, Brett Bieber, side by side. Saw the double 001 car, Brandon Pollock, involved in that first incident. He is back in the 18th position, but has improved upon his starting spot. Driver back here that I'm really interested to see so far back is Jonathan Cofield, man. As like Chris Reese may have gotten into the wall a little bit. Yeah, it's really interesting to see the 58 be so far back. Love to know. Oh my goodness, he gets loose. I'm not sure what happened there, but got really, really loose. I don't know if there was contact between him and the 62 machine. 62 may have gotten loose, but it may have just been Cofield loose himself. Yeah, kind of interesting to see Cofield be so far back. Don't know if maybe this package just doesn't fit his style, or if he just found himself in a bad position back here, just trying to take his time, move through the field, save those tires. Either way, I expect to see him improve upon his position. Really nowhere for him to go right now, as he's trying to follow Brett Bieber in that 808 machine through the traffic here. Go check up front, though. It's still Jim Caudill Jr. out front by about half a second over Daniel Pope and Dylan Bates, who are nose to tail for second place. Those two seem to be about even so far. They kind of seem to be running close to each other. We saw Dylan try to make a pass early in that first little stint, but sort of relegated behind the 16 car. And then we see Tyler Breed right behind, about 6/10 back from those two. And then Eric Kinder, another mover. Him and Cameron Hamilton have made some passes here. Some of the toughest part to race. No surprise to see SPM Velocity Motorsports. It seems to be, you know, the perfect package for the guys who run a lot of super late models. Really, really big motors. Seem to really fall into their laps, and of course being a short track, these guys really, really thrive. Dylan Bates going to get to the inside of Daniel Pope. Looks like Daniel helps facilitate that pass. Feels like maybe Dylan's a little bit faster, and so Dylan Bates up to second place, starting to move forward as we get through this tire run. Honestly, Richmond, not that difficult on tires, so I expect to see the tires to last quite a bit. You shouldn't really lose that much grip. I think you know, 4 tires will make some difference, but not a whole bunch. So you want to save tires, but you also you just don't want to overheat them. I don't think the life and how much grip they have is going to matter. I think if you overheat them, I think that's when it becomes a problem. So I think you can still run the same set of tires for a long time. You just don't want to get in a situation where you're chasing the heat, like right there with Dylan Bates. He gets loose off the corner, slides the rear tires. You don't want to do that too much. You don't want to chase the heat, trying to cool them down constantly. It's cool tonight, the night race. You'll be able to cool them back down, but like we got a car that's slow. Travis Beaver got some big damage to the side of that 114. He was one of the big movers, and he had some damage. Let's go back and see what happened to Travis, if we can. Coming off the corner. Down the straightaway, you can see he's already loose, and oh my goodness, just a helpless feeling. Massive hit to the inside wall. So he's going to come down pit road and have to take that fast repair under green, no caution. That is a tough deal, so. But a great race up front. Let's go back in towards the back of the middle part of the top 10. That didn't make any sense, what I just said. But Matt Telder, Josh Oswald fighting it out under green. Telder with a little crossover there, and looks like Oswald going to be able to take that position here, as looks like maybe Telder has a little bit of damage to that right front, but Josh Oswald 9 spots from where he started. Another one of those Velocity Motorsports guys. I mean, thunderstruck. Short track racing is what he does. So just fits like a glove for that 17 machine. And he is slowly moving his way through the field. Josh, not somebody that I consider, you know, if I've got one lap to win a race, Josh is not that guy. But how often do you get into that situation? If you give me 125 laps on the same set of tires, man, I'm going to take Josh almost every time. So he gets a little bit loose down the front straightaway. Oh, it was a 13 of Garrett Kinder is off the track, and he is slow. So Garrett Kinder finds himself getting a little bit loose, and you'll see he's going to be chasing it for a while. He's trying to get it back going. We got to be careful now that you've gotten a little bit loose. Got to take care of it. Let's go on board with him and see what he's dealing with. He's going to have to be so easy on that throttle. He doesn't want to give up too many spots, but he can't afford to push it any longer. You see, just taking it easy on that throttle, making sure he doesn't push it too hard. Let's go back and see what happened to Garrett. Getting a little bit high in 3 and 4. Going to try to get the run off the corner right here. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Just, oh, my Lord. Slid all 4 tires. You can see 4 tire marks coming off that 13 machine. Able to get it wrapped back up. Only fell back to 12th place, so not the worst thing that could happen. You see the 58. We're talking about him trying to get up through the field. The 58 was about 20th place. He's now up to 13th. So Jonathan Cofield making his way through the field now. Has been able to pick off quite a few drivers, and gets a little bit loose himself. So, man, I'm really impressed. I was so worried with the way this package has changed that we were going to see a ton of cautions, and we still might as these tires are starting to get the good out of them. But so far, man, it has been really clean. Guys are doing a great job. And I think with the tires being the way that it is, I think it seems like it's a little bit easier for guys to make passes, which always seems to be a good thing for Green Flyer racing. Brandon Wallace back here in 22nd with Matt Clemon not too far behind. Matt involved early in an accident, had to come in and take his fast repair. He's still hanging on to it. Let's go aboard with him. See a lot of concentration on that face. He's got his brow all squeezed up together. It's just trying to hang on to that thing. Make sure he doesn't give it too much throttle. You can see just taking it real easy. Braking early. That's what you got to do. Go back up front, see what's developing a little bit. Up here, the 114 who come down pit road must have taken 4 tires, so he's trying to make up some time. Unfortunately, he's 2 laps down, so he's trying to get up to Jim Caudill. If he can get up there, he can unlap himself. And if a caution comes out, he will be the lucky dog. Currently, he is the lucky dog, but he would have to get it again because he's 2 laps down. So if he can get up there and get past Jim, he'll be in a good spot until Jim starts catching the end of the field, which won't be too much longer. But if he can get up to Caudill and kind of stay with him, once they catch Matt or something, you know, at the end of the field, he can try to get around him as well. Travis Beaver, after hitting the inside wall, not out of this thing. That's why we love racing virtual world. He'd be in the infield care center getting a concussion protocol after that hit. Go back to 4th place. Tyler Breeding starting to work on Daniel Pope. Daniel Pope's starting to fall back just a little bit here at the end of this run. They all last pitted. Well, they didn't pit. But everybody kind of went down pit road around lap 9 or 11. So these guys are still, these are the same tires they've been on. So lap 49, fuel run pretty soon. And here comes Daniel Pope coming down pit road right at lap 50. So green flag pit stops. Who would have thought this? If you had this on your bingo card tonight, wouldn't have believed you one bit. So right on lap 50, Daniel Pope gives up 3rd place. Come down, get 4 tires and fuel. I don't think I'll see any kind of strategies of guys coming down just taking fuel only or 2 tires or anything like that. I think we'll see 4 tires and fuel, but you know, I've been wrong before, so we'll see if that changes. Looks like Pope is taking all 4 tires. Cody Bame going to come down, make his pit stop. So pit cycle has begun. As you see Michael Nash pulling out at the bottom of your screen. These guys coming in, checking their tire percentages. They come down and they can see the percentage of their tire wear. There's 14. I don't know what, Daniel, what you doing, brother? I think he had to make a wide turn. Must have missed his pit stall or something, but he had to back up. But you come down, check your percentages, see what your heat is on your tires. You can see if you're overheating the tires or if the percentage is a little bit off. You need to, you know, maybe you're not pushing the gas enough and you're burning the right front off. Maybe you need to give it a little bit more gas to even that right side tire wear. But good time to check all that stuff, make some adjustments on the track. You can't make actual setup adjustments, but you can adjust on the car and the way it drives based on your throttle and steering inputs. Andy Kurtz coming down pit road. Here comes Dylan Bates. Gives up the 2nd position. Tyler Breeding and Michael Costin. Daniel Pope sets the best lap of the race after he comes out of pit road, trying to make up as much time as he can. As you watch Jim Caudill Jr., lots of lap traffic in front of him. He's still out on the racetrack. So Pope electing to pit a little bit early. The danger is, it's like here comes Caudill Jr. now. Gives up the lead. And unless he pits this time by, that will give Jonathan Cofield the lead. Those guys pitted on lap 9, so they have 9 laps more fuel than the guys who have pitted. And Matt Telder crashes, and oh my goodness, a massive, massive break for some of these drivers is Matt Telder has gone around during green flag pit stops. Oh, it's got to make you sick. Let's go back and see what happened to Telder. Telder coming out of pit road and just trying to make a move here. He's going to give it just a little bit too much gas and spins it. Going to give a little tap to the inside wall, and caution comes out. That's going to trap a lot of drivers laps down, mostly one. A couple guys 2 laps down. But, man, that is going to throw a wrench in this whole thing. These guys who stayed out are going to be able to come down pit road and not lose much track position at all. And I'm going to be honest, who really worked out for Jim Caudill, who was down on pit road, got his 4 tires and fuel, and was able to come out, and he will have the lead. So unfortunately, from 10th on back, just a bad break for those guys. Daniel Pope pitted about 5 to 6 laps before Jim, so he's going to have about 5 laps older tires. He's really been running them here at the beginning of this run, right before that caution came out. So he's going to have a little bit of hill to climb with that tire difference, but I don't think it's going to be that much. I think he's going to be able to cool them down under caution, and it'll pretty much even out. But you know, in racing, especially as close as it is here, you want every advantage you can get, and every slight disadvantage can really hurt you. Well, Jim Caudill here in the 15 car, he is the leader, and you can look out in front of him. Man, that is a lot of wave arounds, guys who have come down pit road and are going to get waved around the pace car. So a lot of these guys are going to get their laps back, but a big break for Jonathan Cofield, Kieran Church, Brett Bieber, Brandon Wallace, Matt Clement. Those guys waiting it out, and it worked out in their favor. They're going to start inside the top 10 on this restart. So from 10th on back, going to get the wave around, going to go around and get their lap back and be back on the lead lap for the start of this next little run. Almost halfway. I think it'll put them single file too, so that'll make it really interesting. We'll see. Oh, Lord, I don't know what's going on. Jim Caudill going around the pace car. Well, this ain't good. So some confusion. Maybe some people not really paying attention to their screen. The pace car, sometimes I race in with these loops. The pace car comes out at weird spots, and if guys aren't paying attention, we can get some scoring issues. So there's, if you're an admin in this race, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on here. I'm not really sure what's going to happen as Caudill goes around the pace car as well. Hopefully they extend the caution and go ahead and let everybody get back on the lead lap like they should. But I'm not really sure what's going on here. Everybody going around the pace car as well as the wave around cars. So going to be a little bit longer caution. Definitely seems like there's still confusion going on the track. Garrett Kinder really, really slow, waiting on somebody. It happens, you know. You really can't blame anybody. There's not somebody that May not be anybody that messed up. Just iRacing sometimes gets confused on these scoring loops, and that happens. So we'll see if they can get it all sorted out. Very, very difficult. We don't have any race control. Not that I'm aware of, at least. We want our guys to race. We don't want admins sitting in the race control. Did that for the 87 series. We had some issues trying to get an 87 series one season kind of cleaned up. So we had 4 or 5 drivers. Instead of racing, they was in there running race control, and I hated that. I could not stand it. I like to see our members out on the track, not sitting, clicking some buttons, doing EOLs and stuff. That's garbage. So don't have race control. We got folks in the race that will take care of it, work it out. So hopefully they're communicating, trying to get everything figured out, getting everybody going, and get this thing sorted out. But so it'll take a little bit longer than normal. That's okay. NASCAR has similar issues, and they're a billion-dollar corporation. Kyle Martin says, bummed he couldn't make it tonight. We miss you, man. Looks like we're going to go green, which I can't believe. I'm not really sure. I think they may just be doing letting green flag come out and then throwing the caution to get everything sorted back up. Now it looks like that's what they're doing. So just making an agreement to run like it is. So we are under green, but not really. So we got to wait on everybody to get across the start-finish line, and then have an admin throw the caution, and that will allow iRacing to sort of get its deck back in order. The deck of cards, I mean. And get all this sorted out. So you can see on the screen, caution flag is out. I would bring somebody up in the booth and talk to them, but I want to let all this stuff kind of get sorted out. If anybody has any problems, don't want them to be talking to me when they can be talking to race control, trying to get black flags cleared and things like that. So we'll talk to somebody maybe under the next caution, just to allow these guys time to get everything sorted out. All right, looks like lights will go off on the pace car, and hopefully we can get this thing back green. Lap cars are now going to the back. So hopefully everything is sorted out and taken care of. Much better to take the extra time and do it now than have everything be jacked up for a while. So good on whoever took care of that in the race. Props to them for going ahead and getting that taken care of. Well, now we're ready to get back racing. Jim Caudill, Daniel Pope, Dylan Bates, Matt Clement, Brandon Wallace going to be your top 5. So you see some guys up here. They were towards the back, and now with that strategy call has made up a ton of track position. Let's see if they can maintain it. And front 3 just take off. Brandon Wallace, Matt Clement kind of sleeping there, but And already going to go 3 wide. Jonathan Cofield not wasting any time. And, oh, my goodness. I don't know what's going on with Matt. Is he into the wall? Oh, they're 4 wide now. As Garrett Kinder goes down to the inside. Matt Clemens falling like a rock. So I don't know if he got a little bit nervous or what happened there. But he jumps out of the groove and just lets everybody go. Big cluster of cars. As watch Brandon Wallace try to maintain this track position. Michael Nash looks to the inside. Jonathan Cofield, talked about him early, just biding his time, taking it easy, and he has found himself inside the top. A little recipient of that luck with the green flag cycle, but that's maybe all that he needed to get up to the front and maybe battle for a win here. Somebody's got to get out there and challenge Jim Caudill. Brett Bieber sliding through the grass. We stay green. Brett Bieber gets loose and goes through the grass. Side-by-side battle. Tyler Breed and Cody Bain, 32 Pennzoil teammates. There's 3 Pennzoil cars in the race. Oh, and Cody's going to do a slide job, but not quite able to make that work, and he's going to end up losing 2 spots because of it. Kieran Church is slow. Looks like he might have gotten a little bit too loose. We got some guys who made their way up to the front. Kind of got bad luck with that pit cycle. Is going to have to work their way back into the top 10. Josh Oswald, Garrett Kinder, Travis Bieber. Put in a lot of work, and the racing gods are not fair, that's for sure. And so they're going to have to do all that work again. I'm going to be honest, it looks like a lot of fun out there. Kind of wish that I was racing. I love Richmond. It is such a fun race. Fun track to drive. This car, just the combination. And I think with this horsepower change, I think it would just turn into just just well worth every penny that you spend on iRacing. Watch Josh Oswald try to make some ground up on this 27. Michael Nash. But now he's trying to hold off Garrett Kinder. And that ratchet speed shot forward Mustang. Neon green numbers looking good under the lights. Oh, Josh Oswald gets a little bit loose off the corner. Down to the inside of Michael Nash is going to take over that spot. And Garrett Kinder going to follow along, try to get a twofer. Up front, no change. Dylan Bates keeping the 15 in his sights. Not that far behind. Daniel Pope has dropped back to second. Like I said, just a little bit different in tires there for Pope as he was out there for about 3, 4, or 5 more laps than these guys. So he falls back just a little bit. And now it's just Caudill and Bates pulling away. I tell you what, Dylan Bates looks really, really strong. Caudill has really controlled this race for the most part, but I think Dylan Bates is going to be the guy to beat because he's looked really, really strong, especially on these long runs. Whew. You can kind of see the shimmy down the back straightaway as that car got a little bit loose and then wanted to take a right into the wall. As the rear tires start to light up. Once the RPMs get up so high, they will actually break loose the back end. It can be a very, very scary feeling. Back to third and fourth. Cofield back to the back bumper of Daniel Pope. Cofield going to look down to the inside. And Pope backs out of it, gives him the line, and gives him that spot. Not going to fight him too hard. There's only about 45 laps to go. So Cofield going in the right direction. Cameron Hamilton trying to make up. He had moved up quite a bit and then kind of got caught up in that green flag cycle, but has made his way back into the top 10 and is right on the back bumper. Cody Boehm trying to take over the 6th position as Mike Kostick in the number 8 Jack Daniels car watches right behind him. Cameron definitely looks like he's faster. Just trying to set up Cody where he can get the run down the straightaway. So difficult trying to get down under somebody off the corner. You have to push the throttle just a little bit more, and with the extra horsepower it makes it so tough to do that. You You want to just, oh, right there, you want to keep pushing the throttle, but you have to be careful that you don't get loose. We've already seen a couple guys go down to the inside wall and by their concussion doctor, another boat. Man, Cody Bang doing a great job of defending here. He actually overdrives the entry to the corner. That's going to open the door, though, for Cameron. 78 gets a great jump off the corner. So going to be able to maintain that spot. So Cody doing a fantastic job of defending. He's not blocking, not doing anything outrageous. Oh, and he gets loose there. That's going to open the door on the outside. And I think that's going to be a good position for Cameron Hamilton if he can make that work. Now Cody's got to figure out how to make the bottom work off the corner. Cameron's going to get the power down. Cody does too, so they're side by side, neck and neck. Cody really drove in deep there. Let's see if he can make it stay. The 83 going to have a nice run down the front straightaway and really just kind of dives down in the corner and able to maintain that speed through the middle. And so move Cameron up to 6th place, man. Had to fight for that one. That was awesome. Now Michael Kostick draws him in to the back bumper of the 78, so no rest for Cody as he's going to have to fight off yet another driver. Go back up here. Jonathan Cofield. Oh, Daniel Pope making his second and what is likely to be final pit stop in that number 16 machine. So Daniel with a very clear strategy. He's going to pit on lap 50 and 100, and that's what's going to probably set off this next green flag cycle. Garrett Kinder coming in as well, going to take advantage of these new tires and try to make something happen. Dylan Bates gives up 2nd place. He'll make his way down pit road. So green flag cycle has started. This should be the final pit stop, assuming we go green the rest of the way. So that leaves the decision up to Jim Caldwell Jr. How long does he wait? Right now they're running, he's ran a 23.1, while his best lap is a 22.3, so not quite a second difference. So it's not a huge problem to stay out. We've already seen it work out in his favor to stay out a little bit longer. So I would imagine he's going to continue with that strategy and try to go as long as he possibly can to make sure that no caution comes out and he gets stuck. Because it actually came out with him on pit road last time and was able to avoid any kind of penalty for that. Here comes a 58. Woo, he got in there pretty hot. But the 58 of Jonathan Cofield comes down and makes his final stop. Cofield started to fall off just a little bit, so I'll be interested to see with a fresh set of tires to get out there and make a couple laps before Caudill comes down pit road, which Caudill is coming down pit road now. I wonder if Cofield can make up any time. Get up there and challenge for the win. You know, Cofield talking about how he wants these ARCA championships, and it's just gotten so much tougher, but yet still able to really compete. As we watch Caudill come down into that first stop. His pit crew ain't even doing nothing. They're over talking over Gospin. Oh, a caution has come out. Unreal. It's happened again. As Cameron Hamilton has gone around. Let's go back and see what happened. Cameron on new tires goes down to the inside and just loses it. Cold tires gets him as he goes around, and Chuck Pegleg Phelps is going to take a big shot to the side of that 83, and that brings out the caution. So another caution inside green flag pit stops, and it works out again for Jim Caudill, who was able to get on and off pit road. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, that is incredible luck for the 15 machine. as both times he has timed it just right, or he comes out right as the caution is coming out. So hopefully we don't have that issue that we had last caution and guys are able to get caught up and know where they need to be. But we're going to see everybody come down pit road here. Brandon Wallace brings the 99 along with Matt Clemmen, as they have yet to make their pit stop. And for some reason, Tyler Breeding's still out on track. I don't know if maybe he didn't know when he could pit or whatever. But he last pitted on lap 53, so he's definitely got to pit here. I don't know if he just missed pit road or maybe he's trying to figure out where he needs to be. I'm not sure. But he will have to pit, so hopefully we don't have another timing issue, which may be the case. All right, it looks like there's more confusion going on, so this may be another lengthy caution as we try to get everything sorted out. Tyler Breeding stopping on track. Apparently needed to wait on the pace car here. I have no idea what's going on. Should be quite a few waiver rounds. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't have in-game chat on for a reason. So if I had it on, maybe I would be privy to this information, but interesting. Lights are out on the pace car, not getting any waiver rounds. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But it looks like Tyler Breeding going to be out, and he is on. He's going to have to come down pit road, so he's going to follow the pace car down pit road. So just catastrophe out here is Jason Laucher's now going to be on the inside, and Jim Caldwell going to take off here with about 25 laps to go, as I don't know what in the world's going on. Either iRacing's timing and scoring is really jacked up, or if people are just not getting where they need to be. And man, they got cars everywhere. Guys trying to make up a ton of time, and Brandon Wallace goes around, and now we have the big one is Matt Clemens going to go around too. And caution is back out, so here comes the calamity towards the end of this thing. Go back and see if we can maybe see where that started. I saw it started with Brandon Wallace. Brandon Wallace just gets loose, and then Telder gives the 19 a little extra. Yeah, just unfortunate that the one gets a little bumped here from the 16, just trying to avoid that wreck, and it's just sort of a not really much any of them can do. See if we can go on board with Daniel Pope. Watch him as he hangs on to this thing. This is Brandon Wallace on cold tires. Able to keep that thing off of the 99 machine. It looks like the 17 went around. You see him sitting backwards, so he was involved. See the wreck happening, and unfortunately Brandon Pollock did not get the memo and clears out the 17. Of course, when you're right behind somebody, it's really hard to see unless somebody specifically calls it out. Even then, it's kind of hard to react. So big wreck there. I mean, it's It's a lot of cars involved, but I'm just so confused about what's going on with the time and scoring. I'm just assuming because the cautions are coming out during green flag pit cycles that it's just throwing everything off. But that's twice tonight during those cycles that's really caused a bunch of mayhem. And we've got guys, 7 cars on the lead lap currently. So, going to be some unhappy drivers tonight, I can almost guarantee. I tell you who's not going to be unhappy, though, is Jim Caudill. Has been up front all night long. And it just, I mean, he's had the best car. He's been out front. I think Dylan Bates may be a little bit faster than Jim. But just making the call to stay out a little bit longer and catch those cautions, a little bit of luck, has really kept him up front. So it's really benefited. I mean, he's kept the competition behind him. And like I said, right now, only 7 cars on the lead lap. But some beneficiaries this time around is Kieran Church, Jason Lottridge, Matt Clement again, and Jonathan Cofield this time able to benefit. Now he's back in the top 5, and Brandon Wallace in 6th, and Dylan Bates in 7th. So, like I said, going to be a lot of unhappy guys after this race. Just really stinks. It's really hard to tell because you don't know when the caution comes out, where everybody's supposed to be. And now, I mean, Jim Caudill will never pit from here on out, so the likelihood that anybody gets a wave around is slim to none. Unfortunate for Daniel Pope there is he was involved in that incident. He will not get the lucky dog, so that's a tough break there as you're in a position trying to race for the lucky dog, and that's where that race is going to be from 8th on back. It's going to be trying to hang on to that lucky dog spot to get yourself back on the lead lap. Currently, Daniel Pope has it, and everybody behind him wants it, that's for sure. We'll double it up here, so we've got some opportunity for some guys to make up some points, have some really good runs here. Kieran and Church, Jason Lottridge, Matt Clement, Brandon Wallace, just making the calls at the right time, just working out in their favor. If they can maintain it, I mean, the fact they didn't get the wave arounds there is really important to them, is they can fall all the way back to the end of this whole pack and still be in 7th place. So Caudill leads us down to the green flag again. 20 laps to go. As we got some tire spin, Jason Lottridge going to spin out down to the inside. And it comes to a complete stop. Green flag is still out as he's trying to get it going. Just spins his tires on the restart. Oh, we got another big wreck as Brandon Wallace goes around yet again. And yellow flag is out. Go back and see what happened. Saw Brandon Wallace go around. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to the 99 machine. Oh, gets a little tap there from the 16 of Daniel Pope and goes around. And a lot of guys involved in that one. Travis Beaver, Josh Oswald again. Just a mess. This is where short track racing, I mean, this is it. We've been holding off. Everybody's been taking it easy, but now it's time to go. See Daniel Pope here fighting for that lucky dog. And right at that moment, Cody Boehm is there, so I don't know. Yeah, just a little bit of contact there, and don't know if he was trying to get to the outside, just trying to sneak up out there, and then Kinder was there, just sort of got boxed in and got into the back of Brandon Wallace. Brandon Wallace, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Eddie. What's happening?
Well, man, the last 2 cautions, people running over you. What's going on?
Man, I don't know. I just don't know how to press the gas pedal, I guess.
What happened there on that last caution?
That one there, I think Pope hit me. I'm not real sure.
Okay, well, tell me what it's like out there. You're able to hold on. You're in 7th place. Some good strategy call there. You're going to come back out and be still solidly in the top 10. Looks like you may finish that way. How's it feel out there? Is it pretty tough?
It's pretty tough. The car's kind of a handful with this extra horsepower we got in the tires. It's definitely can't full throttle down the front straight or loop it like you saw Lottridge just do. He's full of talent tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I'm going to let you go. Where were you at? You were in Bandits or BDE?
That was BDE.
All right, well, that's Brandon Wallace. Getting a little love tap out there. Say it's difficult to deal with. Jason Lottridge is heading in the booth. You got me?
I got you, man.
Well, hey, man, I just wanted to bring you up here and see what happened on that restart, man. In a good spot up in the top 5 with that pit strategy, and we saw you go and mowing the grass. What happened there?
Well, I saw a patch of the grass that the superintendent did not cut, so I figured why not just clear it up a little bit for him. No, I just ran out of talent and hit the gas pedal a little too hard there. I saw the leader take off and wanted to try to keep up the best I could.
You've been kind of riding around mid-pack, and you got up front, and you didn't know what to do with your hands. You got nervous, didn't you? And just kind of gave it a little bit too much throttle.
Yeah, some mornings I wake up and I piss excellence. The other days I just don't know what to do with my hands.
You piss blood. That's right. Well,
yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
All right, Lottridge. Well, appreciate you talking to me. Good luck here. Solidly in the top 5, looking to have a good finish. What do you need to do to kind of get up here and maybe battle for the win, maybe?
Not do what I just did on that last restart.
There you have it. Jason Lottridge trying to keep his tires under him here on this next restart and try not to go through the grass. But, hey, worked out perfectly for him because even though he did that, not losing that many spots on the track. So, all right, Jim Caudill going to lead us down to the green flag. Only 14 laps to go. He's got some guys who would really love to see a win or have a win, and going to have to hold on. I'm really going to pay attention to that 91, that white car on the back. Oh, my goodness, as Matt Clement gets a little bit loose on the restart as well. So, it just, guys trying to maintain this, and it is a cluster you-know-what back here. I can't even, 3 wide, Brandon Wallace, no rest for the 99 machine as he is going backwards. As right now we are battling. Oh, the 27's going to go around. Big wreck as a massive wreck on the back, or out of turn 4. Good grief. Let's go back and see what happened there. Chris Reese going down the corner. You're going to see Michael Nash. I think he just got loose. Let's see if we can go back and see. Get dry. Oh, yeah, he drove really hard into the corner. Oh, no, 13 does give him a little love tap. I think Garrett Kinder knew that he was going to drive deep down the corner, was going to try a little crossover, and does it pretty well. Just, I don't know if he mistimed it or if it was a little bit of net code, but a little bit of contact, and the 27 goes around. Brandon Pollock is around. A couple other drivers. So cautions breed cautions. Let's talk to Alan Nash and see what he thought. Alan Nash, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Hey, yeah. How are you, Eddie?
Well, doing pretty good. Man, there on that last little bit, saw you go around, bring out that last caution. What happened there?
I don't know. I was racing Kinder real hard trying to get the lucky dog, figuring we'd have another caution. And something got me from underneath. I don't know if I came down on somebody or if they were really pushing under me. I didn't get a good look at it. All I know is I felt like I'd had 10 too many beers for a second.
Well, you got a little smoke coming out of that Winn-Dixie car. You're going to try to get that fixed, or if you're out of fast repairs, you're going to have to just deal with it. What's your plan here going to this last little restart here?
I'm going in right now. Yeah, I'm tore up from the floor up, Eddie.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to me, Alan.
Hey, good talking to you. I always enjoy watching you.
All right. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
get him back to, I think I got him to the right spot with Chuck. He's coming down pit road. Hopefully get a fast spare if he still has one and get some of this damage fixed. So who was the lucky dog that last time? I wonder if it was Josh Oswald, because it looks like Oswald is back on the lead lap. So it looks like Josh was the recipient of that lucky dog. Man, what has been a fantastic 80% of the race, this last 20% has just been mayhem. The way that the cautions have come out during the green flag pit cycles, the confusion with the timing and scoring, and then guys up front who haven't been up here, you have to drive a little bit different when you're up here. You have to restart differently, and guys just not ready with these restarts the way they're going and getting caught spinning their tires, and then some guys just trying to fight for those lucky dogs to get back on the lead lap. It's just a bottleneck around 10th place, and it has caused quite a few cautions here. We're on a 7th caution, but we're going to run out of laps before too long. If you're Jim Caudill Jr., you got to be feeling pretty good now. I don't feel as good now because I got Dylan Bates. I feel like I'm better than most of the people on the lead lap. I mean, if I'm Jim Caudill, I've shown it all race long. However, the 91 has been the second best driver all night. So now Dylan going to start right behind him. He's not going to be bottled up on the outside line. He also got the 58 of Jonathan Cofield there on the inside. So if I'm Jim, I've been feeling pretty good up until this point. Now I got to be paying attention. Like I said, I think Dylan Bates is just as fast, maybe a little bit better. I think Jim's been better on the short run, but we'll see what Dylan Bates has here as we are getting down towards the end of the race. We'll have 6 laps to go. Once the green flag comes out, we're going to give you a wide shot so you can see all the action. And green flag is out. Jim's going to get a nice jump in. Oh, Kieran Church going to get to the wall as he spins his tires on that restart. So I think 3 really fast drivers here going to be up front as we get down to the end of this thing. And Brandon Wallace about to get run over again, as you see how he's getting eaten alive up front. 3 wide, Garrett Kinder down to the inside. He's going to push up maybe into Andy a little bit. 4 wide, here we go. Good grief. Good gosh. Oh my goodness, just the best. Let's go watch from Brandon Wallace again. He just seems like he's a little bit slower in the middle of the corner. I think he's just trying to take it a little bit easier than the guys around him, and that's really causing a bottleneck. And I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying it is what it is. At the end of these races, if you're parking it in the middle of the corner, it's just really, really tough. And he's involved again. I think he's been hit by every Pennzoil car out there. So just a tough deal for Brandon Wallace. He's been involved in multiple incidents now. And guys just trying to get as much as they can. 4 wide there. I don't know if it has anything to do with Brandon Wallace. I think, 4 wide is just going to be tough to make happen. Man, that's crazy. Oh, we'll watch that again from the old blimp cam. Poor Brandon. You just see just how it's stacking up there, and Daniel Pope going to drive down to the inside. Cody in that 78 trying to hang on to that position. These guys are fighting for that lucky dog, and fortunately, oh my goodness. That 99 machine has seen better days. Woo! I'm losing my cool here. Well, it looks like Garrett Kinder is going to be lucky dog recipient, I believe. which I'm surprised. I think he just missed the wreck. I don't know. I don't know if he was involved in that or not. I thought he was a lap down, but now we have 10 cars on the lead lap, so. Yeah. Mark Cofield said in chat that Brandon Wallace needs Target for a sponsor. Oh my goodness. I mean, that or like I don't know, a brand of parachutes. Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry, Brandon. Oh my goodness, he's just been beat all to hell, and look at him, he's still at 9th place. This race is taking a crazy turn. My goodness. Oh my goodness, I love this series. It's one of the best, and this racing has been fantastic all night long. And here at the end, it's just short track stuff. It's showing on my screen. Final lap, surely not. We'll see as I cross the line. Has Barney got the checkered flag? We'll see. I'm showing final lap, and that is it. No green-white checkers tonight. And Jim Caudill under yellow is going to win this race. Dylan Bates going to finish second, and that's it. I thought for sure we would have a green-white checker, but none tonight. And so the craziness continues as we have a finish under yellow, something we haven't seen since 1995. And I think I just made that year up. I don't know, but it's been a while since we've seen a race end under yellow like that. But Jim Caudill going to be your winner. Just a wild and crazy race. He's going to celebrate. Mark Cofield said, look at the hood. That's the problem for Brandon Wallace's car. He's got still got that paint scheme with Jonathan Cofield on it. So, man, an insane race. A lot that happened at the end. Those green flag pit stops really got wild and crazy, really shook up the way this race ended up. But Jim Caudill is going to be your winner. Let's take a look at the results while we wait on everybody to hop into Discord. That is qualifying results, not race. Let's get that right. All right, Jim Caudill, Dylan Bates, Jonathan Cofield is your podium. Kieran Church finishes in 4th. Matt Clemmen with a top 5, man. How impressive is that? What a great job by Matt. You know what? We're probably going to talk to the top 5. So if you're watching the broadcast, top 5 going to be interviewed. I'm going to make sure I'm going to send that out to everybody. That way nobody leaves early. So pardon me while I do a little behind the scenes. But Jason Lottridge in 6th. Josh Oswald recovers. He got run over 3 or 4 times. Finishes in 7th. Cody Bame 8th. Brandon Wallace. I mean, might as well have been the pinata tonight, and still comes home with a 9th place finish. Garrett Kinder finishes in 10th. Daniel Pope stuck a lap down, ends up in 11th. Andy Kurtz 12th. Brett Bieber 13th. Matt Telder 14th. Brandon Pollock 15th. Steve McDonald 16th. Chuck Phelps 17th. Christopher Reese 18th. 19th is Michael Nash. 20th, Eric Tracy. 21st, Tyler Breeding. 22nd, Mike Kostick. 23rd, Cameron Hamilton. 24th, Travis Bieber. 25th, Daniel Cunningham. And David Jones, Mickey Isaac did not grid up. Well, my goodness. Let's talk to some drivers. I cannot wait to see what Jim thought about this race. Let's see if we can hop in here and talk to him real quick. Jim is in the chat. Let's bring him up into the booth. Jim, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Well, man, you are the only person that didn't have a wild race, I think. Started up front, led every single lap. and just while I think you had the best car, I think it's between you and Dylan Bates on who was maybe the best car out there. But just the luck of pitting at the right time, both green flag stops, and was able to maintain your position. Just an incredible race by you. Dominant performance, and still with all the craziness at the end, able to maintain that and get the win. Congratulations. Talk about your race, man. How'd it go for you?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was lucky, like you said, with the way the cautions fell. I was about halfway down pit road on both of them. That was coming to green flag pit stops. So it positioned me to where I was going to get serviced and then be out in front of the pace car and the leader each time. So it kept me with good track position, and I was pretty fortunate. I feel like that last one that Dylan and Daniel had probably pitted early enough that I was probably going to have to deal with those guys after I come out of the pit. So I was going to have a little better tire, but I'm sure they caught me some, and Dylan wasn't far back when he pitted. So that was going to be interesting, but we got the cautions, and just the way it fell, it trapped a bunch of good cars a lap down, and which was unfortunate, but still, I love these cars. I was excited to run this race because of the change that iRacing's made to these things. And I've been screaming at them for years to give us the full horsepower in these things, so it's fun to drive.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the difference. I mean, I know you can probably lean on your super late model experience, but talk about the difference between the car before and the car now, and what changes you have to make, especially at a track like this where keeping the rear tires up under you is so important.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's just a lot more finesse, a lot more throttle driving the car. Which I enjoy doing. I'm probably not the best in the world at it. I just enjoy driving a car that way. So I was actually rolling out of the gas just a little bit, maybe I could get full throttle on the exit of 4 all the way up to about the start finish line. You'd feel the rear tires actually start to churn down the straightaway. So back out to about 3/4 throttle and just really trying to keep the rear tires hooked up at all times. I think that was probably what helped me a little bit with tires, in the longer runs. I had just a little bit of advantage over those guys, not much. But I just love that, man. These, it just brings a lot more finesse and a lot more throttle control to these things, and that'll probably end up hurting me in the long run because, like I said, it's probably not my strong suit, but I enjoy it.
Well, just a fantastic race after you. Out of you, you're able to maintain that lead. A little bit of luck, you needed that. I still think you were the best car, but sometimes the best car doesn't win. But the luck just kind of fell in your favor and able to maintain. I would have, like you said, would love to have seen that last restart go green to the end because I would love to see you and Dylan battle it out. But at the end, able to get that yellow flag and get the checker with the win. So congratulations again on your win. As always, who you got to thank? Any sponsors or shout outs?
Yeah, just want to thank everybody that puts helps put this thing on, and you for doing the broadcast, and everybody that watches. Want to thank Daniel and Dylan, Cam, Tyler Breeden. They were all strong in this race, and hated that pretty much me and Dylan was the only one that was able to salvage a pretty decent finish out of it. Those guys deserved better, but it's just part of it. So I enjoyed it and can't wait to try this thing again next week.
All right. Congratulations. That's Jim Caldell Jr., your winner tonight, as he has a couple wins on the season now, maybe 3. I don't know. I'll have to check on that. But let's talk to second place, Dylan Bates. Dylan, this Eddie in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Man, wild race. Lots of stuff going on. We had cautions under green flag, messed up timing and scoring. Just a wild and crazy race. Got to feel like, man, I wish all that wouldn't have happened if I'm Dylan Bates, because you seem to be really, really good on the long run. As the run kept going, you seemed to really come alive. Talk about what you felt like you were maybe doing a little bit better than the rest of the field that allowed you to kind of, keep time going and sort of run down. I mean, you're running down Jim at that before that last pit stop. Kind of talk a little bit about what you were doing a little bit differently that maybe helped you on the longer run like that.
Yeah, I don't know honestly the true answer to that, but there was definitely a middle ground there in my run where I would catch Jim, and then kind of right when I'd get to him, I'd stall out and lose my tires a little bit, and I was trying to be smart, and both times that it happened, I would catch Jim, and then I'd try to short pit a few laps before he would to try to make up the time because I'd start falling back from him right when I'd catch him, and both times right after I pit the same lap, a yellow came out and kind of threw my whole strategy. I mean, it worked out. We got back to second, but it'd have been fun to race with Jim, race for the win there at the end. I was put down the fast time in practice, and then missed that a little bit in qualifying and second. So I guess I was just second place car tonight.
Well, I think you and Jim are head and shoulders above everybody else. What if you did, let's say under green, let's just make up something and put you in a situation, and you did get to the back end of that 15 car. What was going to be your plan to get around him? Where was the best passing spot? What was the best attempt of trying to get a run on somebody down the inside?
Either end of the racetrack, I feel like if you could hit a good high-low, kind of like a crossover line, you could get a really wicked run on whoever you were passing. I think that would have been the only way to do it. I don't think moving them would have been an option just because how sideways the car already was. I feel like any contact would have went ahead and turned around, and I wasn't going to be about that. So I was, especially not with Jim. So yeah, I think just try to crossover move and make that straightaway as long as possible and just try to get down in there next to him would have been the only chance. But he probably would have been able to defend it pretty well. But I had, I was also on about 5-6 laps fresher tires there because I took my last set on one of those yellows. So I don't know. I really don't know how it would have played out, but it'd been interesting to find out.
Well, second place, especially in this series, I say it every week. If you're getting an interview in this series, that's basically a daggum win. So congratulations, man, making it through all the mess, making it through all the caution flags, the unlucky stuff, and still finishing in second, where I feel like you belonged either second or first. You got the finish, I think probably you deserve. So congratulations on that. Second place is a heck of a finish here. So congratulations on that. And as always, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Oh yeah, man, just all the guys at 16 XCI. That's kind of mine and Daniel Pope's deal, and Parker Trave. So fun to race with all them guys and the Superior Performance Motorsports crew and all them guys back there. It's a lot of fun, and that's who I got to thank.
All right, congratulations, Dylan Bates. Dylan Bates, second place finisher tonight here at Richmond. We're going to do a little bit of a special deal. We're going to go do top 5 tonight. We got some guys who made up a ton of spots and got some good finishes. So we're going to bring in Jonathan Cofield, your third place finisher, up 15 spots from where he started. Jonathan, you got me?
Hey, buddy, I got you.
Well, man, we talked about you early in the race, talking about, man, why is he way back in 20th? And, man, just took you time and got some luck there on one of those cautions that really gains you a ton of track position, and you were able to maintain it. And, stay up in the top 5. And there at the end, just saw a whole bunch of craziness going on, but still third place, pretty damn impressive. Talk about your race, man, and getting that third place finish.
Oh, my brain's jello. I don't know where to start. Yeah, I run this race last night in another league and had a different setup, so didn't really qualify as good as I wanted to. Setup was a little bit looser, so about killed myself on both qualifying laps. But yeah, I had to start in the rear, and then I think on lap 5, I come out of 2, and coming off the corner, it rotated, and it just kept rotating, and I went all the way to the inside wall. It didn't bring out a caution or anything, but got some pretty good damage there. Lost engine power. Got lucky that caution come out. Had to take a fast repair, and then it was just kind of sit back and kind of protect the car and see how all this played out.
Well, able to get the third place finish. So you kind of answered my question about the car already. So don't really have any more questions, but a good finish for you. I mean, you made the best out of the whole situation and come home with a third place. That's really impressive. So congratulations. You're also the Jeff By Junior Art Best Paint of the Night. So congratulations on that.
All right.
Number 58 scheme. So congratulations on third place and Paint of the Night. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Oh, yeah, man. You in the booth for doing the broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch this mayhem here. Everybody in the league, Brandon Walsh for being our admin, Bubba's Bald Tire Outlet, Jeff Bow Jr.'s Art, Candy Farm Ranch, Fretful Flake Solutions, Dark Horse, Chuck Peg Leg Phelps, No Necks, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Ply, my teammates at Bandits. I know a couple of them didn't really have any good luck tonight, but it happens sometimes. It's racing.
Well, there you have it. Jonathan Cofield, your third place finisher. Congratulations to him on a fantastic race. Started in the back, able to make his way to the front. And next up, fourth place finisher, Kieran Church. Kieran, stadium booth, you got me?
I got you.
Well, a wild and crazy race, but at the very end, you found yourself up at the front with a chance of maybe taking a win away from Jim Caudill, but came up a little bit short, ended up fourth. What did you need there at the end to maybe try to get that done?
I had nothing. I shouldn't even have been up there in the first place. I should have been maybe top 10. I had all right speed. If you could tell after one restart, I was able to just keep the gap with Jim, but I didn't have anything to battle with him at all. I just was lucky to be up there in the first place.
Well, I mean, luck and skill, sometimes they go hand in hand. I mean, you sitting fourth in the standings overall this season. You don't have any wins, but, talk about tonight if you feel like you didn't belong or whatever. Talk about tonight as far as the championship goes. The point standings are going to continue to be really tight. Talk about what it's like to, get up there and get that fourth place finish that maybe you feel like you didn't deserve, and how important that is, as you get down to the end of the season. Those points, every point's going to matter.
Yeah, it's important because as you can see, these guys aren't slouches by any means, and they can miss the few races, and that's the reason probably why I'm up there in the first place. But these guys are finishing top 5 every week. So I just need to limit my mistakes because I screwed up Chicago. I had a fast car to be able to battle up there. Missed pit road, ran out of fuel. Tonight I spun out at one point. I just had bad luck. Somebody didn't call or pitting. I ended up hitting the wall and just putting around and getting lucky with the cautions because that's pretty much all I was just forcing my hand to what I had to do.
Well, fourth place, a really good finish no matter how you get it. So congratulations on that. As always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsors or shout outs?
I got to thank all the sponsors for the league. You for doing the broadcast. I still say you're probably the best out there. Then I got to thank Velocity, SPS, and then Jet Designs.
Well, there you have it. Kieran Church, fourth place finisher. And he has been waiting patiently, so I'm going to jump on down here and talk to Matt Clemon. Matt, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Got you, Eddie.
Well, I appreciate you waiting so patiently. I probably should have limited just one question per guy, but hey, talk about this race. Fifth place, man, 20 spots. I'm falling apart here, but 20 spots from where you started, come home in fifth. And I know what you're going to say, but I don't care how you get fifth place. Fifth place in this series is amazing. So congratulations to you on a great finish. Talk about your race, man. What were you dealing with? What was it like out there in this car? We saw early on you were kind of just riding around sort of in the back, taking it easy. And then, with the cautions the way they fell, found yourself up at the front. Talk about your race a little bit.
Well, early on and after practice, I wholeheartedly thought we would run 5-lap stints all night long because about 5 laps in, everybody found out that the tires let loose real quick on the straightaways. But so that's why I was just kind of riding around in the back. There near the end, all I can say is it's all of that dirt racing experience that I gained in the Xfinity series tonight. It really paid off on handling this high horsepower, low grip car.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, talk about a little bit those restarts. A couple of those restarts, we saw some tire spin. How nervous is it? Kind of running towards the back and then jumping up towards the front. Talk about the difference in the restarts and your approach you have to take if you're up at the front of one of these races versus being maybe mid-pack towards the back on these restarts. Well, how different is it? What's your approach, and how do you have to kind of adjust when you're in each different situation?
So riding in the back, I was restarting in third and really didn't even get half throttle until we got down the straightaway because of just that slow accordion effect, and someone's going to check up or whatever. And then I actually had to ask after Jim did his interview and popped back down into the booth for a second, I had to ask him what he was restarting in, because I tried it in second and I almost went into the grass with Lottridge. And then I tried it in third and almost got ran over from behind. I'm like, okay, it's somewhere in between there.
You're supposed to put it too low, I think.
Yeah. I was looking for that one. The go button wasn't working. So yeah, it's and let's face it, right? I'm a mid-pack to back guy. I got up there because of the screw up on cautions and just lucked into it. And so then you can add those nerves on top, because I didn't want to take out the guys that have been running out front all night long. That's not the way I race. So it was just like, don't screw up. That was my main restart goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point. I mean, the stress of that, it can really get you. I mean, if you feel like you're in a situation you're just not used to or not comfortable with, the stress level really goes up to 11, and every mistake gets kind of you push the gas a little bit too hard, or push the brake, or you don't, just things just don't go perfectly when you're under that kind of stress. And but I think you did a good job, man. I mean, you did way better than Brandon Wallace, that's for sure. And come away with a top 5, which, like I said, I don't care how you get it. I don't care if it's under caution at the right time or how screw up or whatever. At the end of the day, you still finished 5th, and that's impressive. So congratulations, Matt, on that finish. And as always, man, the floor is yours. Who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Well, I got to ask, did all the guys run down our sponsors already?
Well, I mean, we can always do it one more time.
All right. So Bubba's Bald Tire Outlet, Jeff by Junior Art, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Flexible Freight Solutions, Dark Horse Motorsports. My company actually gave everybody unlimited fast repairs, although Brandon limited everybody to 1. I was trying to sell some with a special running. And of course, Chuck Pegleg Felts. And you for broadcasting this long race with multiple cautions.
All right. Well, there you have it. Matt Clemon with a 5th place finish. Congratulations to Matt. And, man, what a finish. Crazy race. That had everything. It had a new car, high horsepower, short track, guys running into each other, green flag pit stops, green flag racing, short runs. I mean, good Lord. What else do you need? If you didn't enjoy that race, something's wrong with you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You got to get right. Get right with the Lord, I reckon. But anyway, a lot of fun tonight. I want to thank everybody, all the sponsors that we've talked about. Of course, the Hard Charger Award is also Matt Clemens. So Dark Horse Motorsports Hard Charger is Matt, who made it up 20 spots from where he started. So congratulations to him. As far as the Hard Luck Award, I could think of a couple guys that had tough luck. But I'm about to give it to Brandon Wallace. He seemed to have the toughest luck of them all, as he was sort of a pinata out there on those restarts, constantly going the wrong way. So Brandon Wallace is going to be your next Fast Repair Hard Luck Award winner. Kind of making some jokes in his expense, so that's also some hard luck. But then you look at the standings, and he was backwards 2 or 3 times towards the end of the race and still finished 9th. So at the end of the day, I think Brandon Wallace has got the last laugh, but good top 10 finish for him. He's actually sitting in 6th in points, so really impressive by Brandon Wallace. But he will be the Hard Luck Award winner, as he kind of got bounced around there at the end. But man, fun race. Always enjoy this series, I say every week, and this week's no different. So looking forward to see if we continue this high horsepower package, where it goes as we get some bigger tracks, and how it all plays out and how it changes the race, and looking forward to that. Yeah, outside of that, thank y'all for watching. If you're not subscribed, I've never really said this before, and I feel weird saying it, but if you're not subscribed, definitely go ahead and do that. That way you can catch, Alex Feet does some Thunderstruck races on Wednesday nights. He does some other races too. So stay subscribed. That way, you can see whenever he goes live and we all go live. That way you never miss a race. Also, we post videos from time to time, so it'd be a good way for you to see that. So definitely do that. That way you don't miss anything, and you'll always have us up at the top of the list. So anyway, thanks everybody. Y'all have a good night.